We want to build the #1 international baseball league.
Oh, what a catch! What a catch, baby!
Like I said, I feel blessed.
The pitcher grabbed by Schlitter goes for the force of the plate.
Ground ball, double play, game over. Wow!
This is a money ball, gentlemen, and this.
Oh, money ball!
Guys, we are back at it once again with the Baseball United podcast. I'm your host, Liam Skiffington. We've had so many great guests on this show week after week. We missed last week for the holiday, but week after week, we've had executives, Hall of Famers, players, co-owners, co-founders. And this week, I'm so happy to be joined by one of our co-owners here at Baseball United, MLB veteran, Mr. Didi Gregorius. Didi, it's great to see you again, man. How's everything been going?
Been good, man. How are you?
Can't complain. So last time I saw you in person was last year in Dubai. So catch me up. What have you been up to since last November?
I've been playing a little bit in Caribbean Series, and right now, currently I'm playing in Mexico.
How was the Caribbean Series experience for you? That was your first time in the Caribbean Series, right?
Yeah, it was the first. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty fun, play against some of the guys I know and all that stuff, and played against good countries and all that stuff. So it's a really great experience, and glad I got to enjoy it, and especially represent Curaçao.
And then you've played in Mexico for a few years now. What's that experience been like for you this year?
It's been pretty good. It's been getting better and better down here. So, competition is good, and everybody's enjoying playing the game the right way, having fun. So I think that's the best part for me. So if it keep going like that, I'll probably come down here another time.
Playoffs are coming up, is that right?
Correct. Yeah, next month.
Okay. How are you feeling about that? How are you feeling about your squad?
So far, so good. I think we're in first still, so I think we're doing pretty good.
Good stuff. Oh, while we're on the topic of the Mexican League, let's talk real quick about another co-owner, Robbie Cano. He's been absolutely killing it. He's hitting almost 500 down there.
Yeah, he's been on fire down here. He's definitely been on fire.
What, Didi, what can you say about the passion that you see of these fans in Mexico?
I think they're more involved, I think they're more involved. They enjoy it, especially now that have players from abroad coming and play. And it's bringing the games more, like people more, like the players enjoy the fans enjoy the players. So it's like it's both at the same time. So I think they both give back to each other and help each other out and make each other feel comfortable. So I think that's the best part with the fans and the players. If you go out there and play the game the right way. So I think you do your job, you should be good.
They seem super passionate down there. Beyond the fans and the passion that they have, Didi, what other similarities or differences do you find in the Mexican League compared to your time in other leagues or MLB?
Besides the fans?
Right.
It's just, I think the whole interaction with everybody, I think that's the thing that makes a little bit like the difference from feeling like, hey, I'm so welcome here. Like people will join you on whatever stuff you're doing. So I think that's also the big part of the game that people sometimes forget. You want to make all the players comfortable and all that stuff while they're in a different country playing.
So you grew up in Curaçao. Let's bring it back there a little bit. How did you first fall in love with baseball?
Baseball for me, it was like a family thing. My dad played baseball, mom played softball, and my brother played baseball, and grandpa, aunts, and everybody, they all played baseball and softball. So they gave me the option when I was a kid to play any sports that I wanted. By the end, I picked up, still stay with baseball.
You had to have picked up soccer as well, right?
Yeah, I played soccer. I was a competitive swimmer, and I do all that stuff. So I even played basketball for a little bit.
Competitive swimmer. What was your event?
Freestyle.
Were you good?
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. I love the confidence. What, Didi, when you were growing up, what baseball players did you look up to?
I had a lot, actually. Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey, Jimmy Rollins, Barry Larkin, Jeter. It's just the way Jimmy Rollins, just the way they play the game and then stuff you hear from them on and off the field. So I think for me, that was like the best part, be the same person when you're on the field and off the field. So, people will be happy to see you on the streets or something and say hi. So, and that's what I took, and that's what I keep doing.
So you signed with the Cincinnati Reds in 2007. What was
Correct.
your first introduction to professional baseball like? Bring me into that moment.
It was weird for me because in Curaçao, like it's sunny, but 85 to 88 all year round, but we only play like 30 games a year. And when I came to the States was the first time I actually was like, okay, this is way different. We were practicing every day and gotta play the games up after. So that was new for me, and it had to be 6 o'clock bus, 6 a.m. bus, almost every day. So I was like, oh, this is different. And I was not a morning person. Oh, well, I'm still not, but it was just something that I had to get used to, and then get my body to understand what's going on all that time too.
So I know you speak 4 languages: English, Spanish, Papamento, and what am I forgetting?
Dutch.
Dutch.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you came over to the States, Didi, did you already speak English, or was that a big adjustment for you to learn the
Oh
language?
no, I already spoke English since I was a kid. It's funny because when I got there, I was translating for a lot of for a lot of the Latin guys. So it was something that I was also helping with them.
It was probably super valuable to have you in those clubhouses, honestly.
Probably.
So fast forward a couple years, 2012, you make your major league debut. Tell me
Yeah.
about when you got the call and then the journey after that.
Oh, it was funny because I think we were in Columbus playing, and I was playing against some of the guys, and everybody was in the dugout from the other team. They're like waving at me and say, "Why are you not playing?" And I'm going like this. I'm going up. I'm going up. But no, when I got up there, for me it was more like, hey, you're just playing the same game, but the talent and everything is way better. So then people are more consistent. So just try to be consistent and then try to play the best game you can. And when I got there, I had one of the best managers in the game, Dusty Baker, too, that helped me a lot too. So it was also a plus for me.
What are some of the things, I know you only played for him a short time, but what are some of the things you took away from that experience with Dusty Baker?
So I only had him for a little bit, but there's still spring training and all that stuff too. So we can sit down and talk about the game, things you learn, and he tried to give me a heads up before he even like got to the big leagues and how to be like a good person on and off the field. Talking about everything, like everything, life situations, everything. So you want to learn to separate stuff from the field and stuff off the field too. So he gave me a good coaching on that too, and I think that's one of the things that also helped me when I got there. So I was really comfortable, even though it was my first time in the big leagues with them.
It seems like the greatest managers, Didi, are the ones that really help the guys off the field with their personal lives rather than helping develop their skills once you get to the major league level.
Correct, correct. I think so because it's the same game. It's more consistent, but you also got to make adjustment a little bit, little by little, every day to get better to you too. So, but sometimes people drag stuff that's off the field to the game, and it's completely different attitude, different stuff. So if you learn to separate those things, I think that was the thing that was like the key to help me stay focused and stay consistent.
So after you made your debut in 2012 with the Cincinnati Reds, that offseason you got traded to the Arizona Diamondbacks,
Correct.
and you played for another great manager in Kirk Gibson. What was that
Yeah.
experience like, and what to bring me into the moment where you found out you got traded and how you dealt with that?
And so I was in the fall league playing for a little bit. Oh, actually played the whole fall league.
You won a
And
championship that year in the fall league, right?
correct, yeah. And then we were just talking to some of the guys. It was fun playing with different. Like, it felt like an all-star game. So every day. So we had a really good conversation, and then talking to GM and all this stuff, and then ended up being traded. I think 2 or 3 weeks after I was done playing in the fall league. And when I got to Arizona, it was a completely different environment because at least in because the Reds used to be, well, they already moved to Arizona at that time, but the time difference and all that stuff, it's prepared to this, prepared to that, and get into the field way earlier than normal. So because it's gonna be hotter every time you go out there. But and it was a great time for me too over there when I was in Arizona. Also learning different things and all this stuff too.
What was it like playing for Kirk Gibson? He seems like a very hard-headed, stern manager, like a real old school guy. What was that like for you?
I wasn't really worried about like old school like mentality and all that stuff. For me, it was just like playing the game, you know. So if I play the game the right way, I think everything will fall in place. And I think that's how I took it, and then that's how I went after it. We talked for a little bit, learning new things and all that stuff too. But just try to keep things simple and just play the game.
During the time of that trade, was it kind of bittersweet for you, Didi, because you were kind of blocked in Cincinnati? And did you know at that time you were going to get more playing time in Arizona?
Uh, to be honest, no, because I didn't know what to expect when I got over there. And it was just like I said, like things happen. For me, it was just try to focus on one thing, what I can control, and then just move forward with that. And then it was just, hey, just do what you do, and then make adjustments and try to get better every time you go out there and practice harder. Do things and off the field that you want to do, and then just keep yourself comfortable.
So you spend a few good years in Arizona, and then in 2015 or the offseason of 2014, you get
Yeah,
traded to the New York Yankees to take over the shortstop spot for one of the greatest to ever play the game, one of your idols, you said growing up,
yeah.
Derek Jeter. How did you deal with that kind of pressure?
It's funny because as soon as I got traded, my agent called me and said, "Hey, you're gonna get traded and all that stuff." Because I had like an afro going. That was the first thing I thought. I was like, "Well, I gotta cut my hair down." But that was the only thing that I wasn't like really worried about all that pressure because you go out there, you play the game, and in the beginning, I was putting too much pressure on myself instead of not worrying about anything. Just play the game like I do. Try to do too much. So then I learned to compose and relax, and then just make an adjustment, kept making an adjustment. I think that's one of the things that helped me got through the whole year and then try to get better.
It also had to be fairly difficult. Not that Arizona isn't a great baseball state, but had to be fairly difficult going from kind of a small market in Arizona to the biggest market in
Yeah,
sports, arguably, and taking over for one of the greatest to ever play.
yeah, and get booed every day.
So but that is, I mean, that's a fact, and that's something I wanted to talk to you about. Your
uh,
first couple weeks there, like you said, you
no,
didn't
months.
perform that
First
first couple
first month
months.
and a half. Yeah,
So you didn't perform that great, and then I'm sure you weren't really getting booed in Arizona because they're probably not as
yeah,
passionate as they were in New York, especially like I said it 3 times now, taking over for Derek Jeter. That was like their god. He was 5 championships, unbelievable. So you go out there, you get booed. Were there any conversations that you can recall with the general manager Brian Cashman or manager Joe Girardi at that time, trying to help you kind of just uh, break out and become the player that you eventually became?
So, I mean, the booth, like the media and everybody was asking me about it. Like, hey, what do you have to say to the fans that are booing you? I was like, I can't control what comes out of their mouth. If they boo me, it is what it is. Like, I'm there to try to do my job and try to get better. So I talked to Girardi talked to me a couple times about, hey, like don't worry about that. You're gonna be playing every day. You're the shortstop that we got here. You're gonna be the guy. So we know you don't have a really good start the way you wanted, but we know everything is gonna fall at the end. So, and I don't think if you can find one of the responses I had to the media too, because they were asking me about it. I was like, look, I can't control what comes out of their mouth, but it's not how you start the season, it's how you end the season. And that's literally what I told him. And I think after that, it was just, I just took off.
Absolutely. So, Didi, you also had, well, during your time in New York, you had a lot of postseason experience. In 2017, you had a massive home run in the wild card game against Minnesota. Bring me into what it's like playing for playing in the postseason, especially for the New York Yankees, and what's going through your mind when you're in that big spot, and kind of how you stay calm and level-headed throughout all of that.
Yeah, I think through all that too, like coming up in the ref system, I was a little bit spoiled because I had Ken Griffey Sr. as the manager and hitting coach. I had Delano Shields, I had Barry Larkin, talking to those guys, Eric Davis and all those guys, they tell you, hey, in those situations, hey, relax, do this, this, and that. So take deep breaths and control yourself. I think that's one of the things that helped me in every situation I play the game. So the game is in more like the playoff games are more important, but the more relaxed you are, the better. Because in that game, Minnesota went up 3-0 in the first inning. And then, but we got a third out, and everybody's like, "Yeah, it's nothing. It's just a game. It's like we've been down before." And everybody was like, "Hey, just get on base, just get on base, just get on base." And Gardy got on, Judge got on, and then I ended up hitting a 3-run homer to tie the game. I think it was the first time I showed emotion in the game too. So, but it was just a big moment for everybody, just to see, hey, we were down, but this team, we fought the whole year to get there because they were like, this team is not going to make it to the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. But we know we had a good team, and all we need to do is just keep playing the game the right way and then focus on what we can do and control and then go from there.
And like you said, Didi, it's the same game, right? It's
Yeah.
October, but it's the same exact game.
Yep.
So you got to
So
maintain.
not a lot of things change. It's it's bigger because it's playoff, but at the end of the day, it's the same game that you're playing since you were a kid.
Yep. So you brought this up. You were in New York when Aaron Judge made his debut. What was
Yeah.
that like for you?
It was fun because when him and Tyler also went back to back too, I think for the first both homers. I think that was like the big key for him. He didn't play good the way he wanted the first time when he got up, but that big adjustment that he made in 2017, hitting all those homers and just driving, throwing like offensive and defense, just step this game up, and he's still doing the same thing. So I think that shows you consistency and what he's doing. So that's good.
At what point, Didi, during your time with Aaron Judge, did you kind of realize, wow, this guy is going to be one of the premier players in this game for a long, long time? Was there a specific moment that you can recall?
I mean, since 17 spring training, because he was standing tall and when he got up and the first time, but then he made an adjustment. That shows you that hey, he's willing to work, he's willing to do anything to try to get better. So I think that shows you what the guy is willing to do. So once you see that in every player or in the player, you know that hey, this guy is going to be something good if he keeps doing this. So and his consistent work that he's been doing, it's been good. It's unbelievable.
So shifting gears a little bit, you've also had the opportunity to play in multiple World Baseball Classics.
Right.
What does it mean to you to be able to represent your home country in such a huge tournament?
It's fun because you play with guys that you grew up playing with, and then you see all you guys, have a really great career and all that stuff. So you guys always come back to represent your countries. I think we played against each other when we were a kid or with each other, and now it's like that's those same guys still like playing like little kids. So I think that's the best part of the game, especially representing your country. It means more.
What can you say about the baseball atmosphere in Curaçao for our audience that might, or the members of our audience that might not know as much?
It's been growing. It's been growing more and more. So, you see more guys not getting signed and all that stuff. I think it's because of all the players that played in front of them, and then they all try to pick something from whoever they see in the big leagues and try to add that to the game. So I think that's also important to know what you can do and what you're capable of, and always try to get sometimes out of that comfortable zone and make an adjustment to get even better with that. So I think that's coming up bigger and bigger now in Curacao. So kids are really eager to sign once they get older, once they get to age, and represent the country and put the country even more on the map. So I think that's really important for us too.
Don't you find it amazing the growth of this game worldwide, even just in the last, let's say, decade?
Correct, correct. It's been growing like quickly. A lot of people don't really pay attention to other countries, but you see every country's trying to, hey, we also play baseball here, so give us a hi or shout out or something. So it's really amazing to see how it's growing and how everybody's getting involved with it now.
And that's exactly one of the things we're trying to do here at Baseball United is give opportunities to these other countries and elevate their national teams, their homegrown players. So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit, Didi, about how you first got involved with our organization.
Yeah, so it was Eddie that actually contacted me,
Eddie
but
Diaz?
Yeah, so it
Contact
was
everybody,
funny.
man. Contact everybody. He knows more people than anyone I've ever met in my life. He's a great guy.
Uh, it was funny because I was literally going to play with the Dutch team almost at around the same time. And I told him, like, look, like, I have something going on, but I will try to squeeze both in and so I can do both. And, I was flying back and forth. I was in Czech Republic, and then I flew to Cincinnati literally for a day just to do a photo shoot for BU and all that stuff. And then I flew back out the next day, back to Czech Republic. So it was just like, because we were playing there. So, it was just everything going at the same time. And then as soon as I was done with them, with the Dutch team, and then all of a sudden I was there with BU. So it was really great experience too to go out there in Dubai and play.
Yeah, so bring me into that. Like, there are so many people out there, so many great players. When you got to Dubai and you walked into Dubai International Stadium, you saw the field for the first time,
Yeah.
walked on it. What was your reaction?
It's just showing you that everybody's trying to do something great for every country they go to, and especially when we went to Dubai. When I got to the field, it's a cricket field, but it was amazing how quickly they changed it into a baseball field so we can play and enjoy ourselves and let the fans also enjoy that. Hey, there's baseball coming to Dubai, and it's going to be something big. So hope everybody can join and do all that stuff. So it was a great experience, especially with all the guys that played against and played with. So, and then got to meet some new people that I never met. So
Such a wonderful and beautiful city. Had you ever been there before?
nah, I have not, but I had a great time going touristing a little bit and walking around and all that stuff. So it was fun.
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. Minus the heat. I'll give it that. Minus the heat, but it really, honestly, I didn't think granted,
it wasn't that hot though at that time.
I wasn't on the field playing. I was just walking around with my phone, but but it was all right. I thought it was not nearly as hot as it would be if we were playing not in the winter ball
Yeah.
time of year.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What so when the gameplay started, Didi, what was your reaction to these prospects that we had from all over the world, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, India, everywhere?
No, we had the Indian players on our team, and these guys, like, they were so like humble and appreciative, and it was just like we were talking to them, but it felt like we met a long time ago. That's how close everybody was on our team. So it was amazing just to see them also come in the game and pitch. And I was telling them that I actually played with Indian playing before, and they ended up making a movie about it in the Million Dollar Arm.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
the
The
movie.
Disney movie.
It was Rinku Singh. So I played with him when I was in Australia. So I was telling them also about him and all that stuff. So we were talking for a little bit, and it just shows you that they say the world is big, but it's still like it feels like it's like this, like small, because everybody's coming together, enjoying themselves, talk, and the clubhouse vibe was just like unbelievable because it wasn't like, hey, I never met you before, so we just say hi and bye. It was like, I've seen you, maybe or maybe not, but hey, we're this now. So that's how it was. Like everybody's like together. So, and it was really good to see them pitch and talking to them and just hear every great story about him. So it was just good.
It's one of the most beautiful things about our game is its ability to bring people together from
Yeah,
all over the world. Like you said in that clubhouse, everybody was acting like they've known each other for years.
yeah,
Just from my perspective, walking around there, I wasn't even in the clubhouse. It was
yeah.
beautiful to see. It was beautiful to watch guys like you, guys like Andrelton Simmons, teach these guys how to field a position or not hold the bat because they were more advanced than
Yeah.
that, but like the things you guys learned at the major league level that these guys otherwise, if it wasn't for Baseball United, would never have the
Wouldn't get a
opportunity to
chance.
really
Yeah,
learn. It
yeah, correct. You're correct.
was
That's why I
absolutely
think that's why I think it's like one of the best because like we have the experience that we're passing it on to like the guys that don't know, not that they don't know, but they don't have the same experience as us. So we teach them a little bit more about the game. Hey, do this, do this, do that. So it helps them, and once we talk to them, they can go talk to somebody else because hey, we got experience from an ex major leaguer, and he know what he was doing, and he's passing it on, and then so they can teach teach other people. So you never know. Maybe we're going to have some of the kids like from India or somebody in the big leagues, you know. So I think that's one of the best part. And that's what we hope that will happen.
The fan reaction to all of you guys when we were out in Dubai, Didi, give me your opinion on that, because to me it looked absolutely incredible to be on that field and see all these fans going crazy for the game of baseball in a part of the world that's really never been exposed to it before.
Exactly. So I think that's also the best part of the game. You know, as long as the fans are there and involved, that makes everything better. So like we were just like, I didn't know, like I came there with an open mind, like always. So and when I got there and then I see the fans, they're cheering us. I was like, you know, you get goosebumps and all that because they're like, hey, I'm in a whole different country and I'm playing the game that I love, and there's so many fans watching us. And in a country like you said, like there weren't like there's no much baseball going on there, but there was a lot of people, way more than I expected to come because it's a different sport. You know, they're used to cricket and all the other ones, but once they saw baseball, I think most of them fell in love with it. So I think that's what we want too as an organization and everything. So I think from now on, like from then on, it was like a really good experience for everybody.
So you played in the showcase. A couple months later, it was announced that you, along with Jair Jurgens and Andrelton Simmons, were announced as co-owners. What
Right.
led to your decision to invest not only your money, but your time, your ideas, your experience into our organization to help elevate it?
Yeah, it was just the feeling like it's a family thing. So, and like I said before too, like you want to see more kids from a different country also, you know, get the chance to play in the big leagues. You know, everybody has a dream and they want to live it. So I think that's what made us like, hey, like we should invest in this. And also we can get people from our country, also from our island to come there and then, you know, open some more ways that people can go and get them more experience to travel and then play the game. So I think, what I've been doing is playing overseas all over the place. So I think that's also one of the big experience of getting people chances because everybody deserves a chance to, you know, to play their dream sport, and especially in a big country like Dubai and all that stuff. So I think that was one of the reasons we joined because we want to have more opportunity for a lot of players all over the country, all over the world, basically.
Didi, the leadership team we have here is absolutely elite. It's like nothing I've ever
Yeah.
seen before. Tell me a little bit about your opinion on just how you've seen this leadership navigate hurdles, challenges, and how they pivot and adjust and
Yeah.
continue to just build and build and build our league.
Yeah, I mean, that's like you're saying, like that's why they're the leaders, you know, because they know how to control all that and they know how to find their way, you know, to get through what they want to do. So I think they're focusing on getting the job done. I think that's the best part because the more people you get involved, the bigger it's gonna be. So I think like you always find hurdles and you got to learn how to jump over them and go to the next best thing. I think that shows you that they always fight to the end. I think that's the most important part. Like they're a fight. If you get no here, I might get a yes another way. So I will try to find it until I get it. So that's just they're always pushing, and as long as you push in the right direction, I think doors will open more and more.
One of the big things that this leadership team talks about is doing this for the right reasons with the right
Correct.
people. This is
Yeah.
about more than baseball, as you alluded to earlier. It's about more than baseball. It's about community. It's about
Yeah.
building and providing opportunities to kids all over the world to fall in love with this great game that's given guys like you so much, guys like even me so much.
Exactly. I mean, as long as you fight and do that, you know, you open doors. Like I said, you open doors and you get people to join because they see, hey, they're pushing really hard to get where they want to be. So why not join and help them push? Because you want to see, like, for example, I'm going with like I'm here in Mexico. If you get a player to be like, hey, if they're pushing that hard for get players involved, why not get involved too? So I have more Mexican players joining. So it's stuff like that. So as long as you see them push, like I said, in the right direction, everybody will be willing to join and then just help keep pushing so it can be bigger than baseball.
They also talk about being able to control their own destiny a lot, which is something that even as an employee, as part of this organization, it's so refreshing and great to see because you want to know that from your leadership, whether it's
Yeah.
a manager in baseball or whether it's a CEO, co-founder of a
Mm-hmm.
company. You want to know that they're in control.
Correct. Correct. And that shows because they're in control, like, of everything they're doing. It's not just like, hey, no, I can't do this. I can't do that. Like, I don't think there's a task that they'll look at and say, I can't do this. You might invent something right now and it'll be like, oh, I know how to do this. And then just like fight to try to figure it out. And that's how they are. That shows you like how great the group is and the leadership. And it's going the way they want because they're in control of things.
Their foresight to anticipate hurdle. This has never been done before. And the
Yeah.
leadership's foresight to anticipate hurdles and continue to pivot and navigate through those hurdles and continue to just push forward, again, to
Mm-hmm.
elevate our league is absolutely incredible. Have you ever been around anything like that in your experience in baseball?
You know, like in baseball, I think every day is like a hurdle because you learn something new every day. And maybe somebody gives you a tip that helps you, or somebody else tells you something that you didn't know you was doing. So, you know, it's like you're jumping to new things. So it's like, okay, I was doing this. I thought I was good, but somebody told me, hey, if you can make this adjustment, you'll be better. So, you know, that's you jumping that hurdle trying to get even better. So every time you go out there, you know that, hey, I gotta give 110% to go out there and play the game the right way. You never know who's good watching you for the first time and be like, hey, I want to be like this guy when I grow up. And, you know, it's just like if you play the game the right way, do everything you need to do, hustle, whatever, that's the hurdle because that's what you can control. I can control how hard I play. I can control how to jump over this hurdle because they told me, hey, if you do this, you get better. At the end, it's up to me, like, what do I want to do to go forward? And that's what this team is doing. It's like, hey, I know if I go over this, I'll get better because more people's gonna join. Or like every little thing that we do is just like it's just expanding the game. So if we can expand it little by little, it's a plus for me and everybody else because we're getting people more confidence. Hey, come join us or come play with us. And you see like, hey, I get experience for them. They get experience. Hey, I got to play with, for example, Robinson Cano. We talked to Cano. I learned a lot of stuff from Cano. That's another hurdle that you jump. Because, for example, you never knew that you would get a chance to talk to him. But now that I sit down and talk to him, I learn new things. So it's always like a learning process, no matter what you play the game or whoever you sit down and talk to. It's always something new.
In your role as one of our co-owners, Didi, how can you help grow our league?
So for me, it's more like they're in control. So I don't want to step on nobody's foot. I always listen and read what they have to do. You know, if I have something to say, like little things, hey, remember to do this or let's do this, and I'll come out and say it. But as of right now, like I don't have to say anything because they're doing everything. Like it's just. So it's really good. Like once they ask, hey, if we have something to say, maybe I will say something like little things. But as of right now, I mean, what they're doing it's just unbelievable. It's like they've done it before, but it's the first time doing it.
They certainly have almost the perfect balance of art and science. Art being
Yeah.
the total vision for what they want us to be 5-10 years
Mm-hmm.
down the road, and
Yep.
science is the actual execution of it.
Of everything. Yeah. Correct. Correct. It just shows. It just shows.
What, if anything, Didi, do you have to say to the fans in the Middle East waiting for our announcements for the next couple of years?
So I think what to expect from us is that the game's gonna grow. I think that's for sure, and then we all want the fans to be there because that's the best part. You know, we're doing it for the fans and for the kids, and for everybody to get that opportunity to join. So I think that's the best thing that we can do because it wouldn't be fun without fans. So I think everybody know that, and we're doing it for them. So so they always see it on TV, but now they can see it live. So I think that's also really important and you get to see the little things that you don't get to see on TV. So I think that's also really great.
Any advice for the young players in that part of the world that are looking up to you, looking up to Robinson Cano, all you guys who want to be big leaguers one day?
I I hear kids say, I want to be like you. And I always tell them, I want you to be better than me. Because, you don't want to set a goal. And then once you get to the goal, now what? Like, I want you to get to the goal and then know that, hey, there's always more. I always got to fight for more. So I think that's what I always tell them. Like, hey, I don't want you to be me. I want you to be better than me because there's a lot of stuff that you will learn while you're playing. And then, especially like when you get a chance to play in WBC, when you get to represent your country, that's even better because maybe your country has never like been there, but you guys are playing hard like in Curaçao. Like they're playing hard because they want to make the rankings to play for WBC so they can play as Curaçao. And I think that's one of the big things too that people are doing. So if every country can do that, it will be even bigger. And you get to represent your country. It'll be more enjoyable even after that. So I think that's one of the best part about the game.
What were some of the conversations you had with the fans when you were over in Dubai?
A funny one, a funny one that one of the kid, he came up to me like I was signing and all this stuff and taking pictures. He said, "Hey," I said, "What's up?" He goes, "Do you want to cook food? My mom can cook for all you guys." I think that was like one of the funniest ones that I've been. But just sit down and talk to them for a little bit, or coming down the line and talk to them. It's always important, so they know like, hey, we're here. We want everybody to feel comfortable, enjoy watching us play. And the fan interaction is always the best part of the game because they're always in it. So I think you always gotta appreciate everything. So I think that's how I looked at it. Talk to them. Make everybody feel at home. And we play a lot of years in the big leagues, but fans are always going to be there. So no matter where you go, fans are going to be fans.
Didi, what makes you believe that our league will be one of the premier leagues in the world in the next couple of years?
Because it's something different for everybody. They haven't experienced, especially the guys that haven't been outside of the country and play somewhere else. I think that will be a really great experience for everybody, and especially now it's in Dubai. Everybody talks about Dubai and all that stuff. So now you get to play baseball over there. So, and have a little bit of time for yourself. So I think that's one of the things. It's also like outside of the norm because we haven't seen baseball in Dubai until we got there as Baseball United. So that also is a plus for everybody, and try to play winter ball there in the next couple of years or so will be even fun. So, because they're growing soccer and all the other sports. So why not baseball too?
We've talked a lot about leadership. I want to talk real quick about our co-founder, CEO, chairman, Cash Shake. What has your experience been like with him?
It's been a really great experience, especially when we sit down and met for the first time in Cincinnati. It was great talking to him and then hearing his vision and his story and how long they've been battling to get this going. So, and it shows you like, because sometimes you start something and you get the first no, you're like, back away. I don't want to do it. But they just kept going. Like, we believe in this. We know it's going to be something good. So that just shows you what he can do with his group that he has.
Didi Gregorius, thank you so much for joining the Baseball United podcast. Thank you for bringing the passion you have on the field into this show. I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to the next time we get to speak.
All right, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me.